Okay, hi, I'm Cynthia Brokaw. I'm chair of the East Asian Studies Department. I'm also a professor in the history department. And my real specialty is Chinese history of the Ming and Qing dynasties, what we would call early modern Chinese history. You've asked me what my interest in East Asian studies is. Well, I've really spent all my professional life studying in East Asian studies, studying Chinese history, so it kind of is that part of my life. I think East Asian studies is really worth studying for a great number of reasons. I guess I'd talk most about two. The first one is kind of the obvious one, the one that, everybody usually mentions, and they talk about the current economic and geopolitical importance of East Asia. China, a rising power, now one of the largest economies in the world, and certainly Japan and Korea are also doing extremely well. East Asia is also, again, geopolitically an extremely important site in the world. So that's one, I think, really good reason why anyone today would want to know actually a great deal about East Asia, about China, Korea, and Japan, and for that matter, the regions around East Asia as well. But I actually think that there's another reason that in some ways may be even more important than just the contemporary geopolitical and economic reasons. And that is that the cultures of China, Korea, and Japan are very rich. They're very ancient. They've got a very, very long history. All three cultures developed extraordinarily sophisticated political systems very early in world history. A great variety of different spiritual beliefs, which are still very much alive today. Again, rich and complex artistic and literary and actually technological cultures. I think also a very complex set of social relationships and a set of ethical and moral standards to go with those. So in some ways what I'm saying is that there is something intrinsically interesting about these cultures in themselves, regardless of their contemporary geopolitical or economic importance, that makes them worth studying. I think they may be of particular interest to people who are not from those cultures. I mean, presumably they're very much of interest to people who are from those cultures, but people who aren't from those cultures, by studying China, Japan, and Korea, and just East Asia as a region, can discover alternative ways of thinking that aren't necessarily found in Western cultures. And I think that's very, very important, to always be looking at other ways in which to think about governance, other ways in which to think about one's social relationships and how one conducts oneself in society. And that is what the study of other cultures, in this case obviously specifically East Asian culture, does for us.
Awesome. Yeah, that is super exciting. So I guess maybe just following up on some of that. So I guess we get a really good sense of, absolutely, there's this geopolitical importance to, studying East Asian studies, and there's also these incredible cultures that are behind them. I guess maybe in your mind, what really is the East Asian study at Brown?
At Brown? Well, East Asian Studies at Brown is really, in some ways, at least two things. First of all, it's, of course, the Department of East Asian Studies, which has traditionally been the real site of East Asian Studies. At the moment, the department is rather small, and most of the faculty are teaching language or literature or linguistics. I'm hoping very much in the future the department can expand and it will become more of a what I would call multidisciplinary department, so that there will be people, we have to keep that very important core of language and literature and linguistics, but then that there will also be faculty members from other disciplines in the department.